Hi, and welcome to class. So today we are going to be learning the difference between Lucifer, the devil, and Satan. Now, all three of these energies are different and they do operate on a different, I guess you want to say, dimension, okay? And I'm going to give you all of three of them and how they actually operate and how to tell the signs and the signals of when you are dealing with these types of energies, right? So the first thing is that I need you to make sure that you hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button, okay? And also be open to the knowledge and the energy that I'm sharing with you in regards to this esoteric knowledge and understanding, okay? So that's what this channel is about. We're all about manifesting and knowledge here, learning the things that you need to learn so that you can manifest the life that you want, right? So this was a popular heavy topic or requested topic, and so I'm going to cover this today, and I'm so super excited to share this with you because what happens is that these type of energies are very tricky, and it can be very deceiving. And so it's really important that you understand how these energies show up, not in just your everyday life, but also on your ancestral bloodline as well too. So the first we're going to be covering is Lucifer, okay? Lucifer was an archangel. Lucifer was the brother to Archangel Michael, okay? And Lucifer is highly intelligent. He operates on the eighth dimension, Lucifer is also known as a falling Elohim, a seraphim. He comes from the seraphim lineage. Okay, so he's a very high ranking and powerful angel as well too. And so he is originally a high ranking light being, right? Some say that Elohim and Seraphim of the eighth dimension, he's from this eighth dimension. He's from a realm of divine creation and cosmic intelligence. So like I said, he does hold a very high energy in regards to intelligence, creation, all of that, okay? The fall of Lucifer wasn't a literal, right? A literal descent into hell, but a vibrational fall, a distortion of divine will into self-will, okay? So he wasn't just automatically sent to go be in hell. He literally fell from vibrational level, meaning like he wasn't able to hold up his vibration in the kingdom of light. Okay, and so he fell in regards to vibration, therefore he fell into more of self-will versus divine will. And so that's why I always tell y'all it's important that you are in a divine flow and that you are following the divine Tao in regards to how to work with the divine and creating and co-creating. Okay, so Lucifer's frequency became inverted at a soul level, but the consciousness still holds a high dimensional knowledge, making it seductively powerful. Okay, so he is still very much holds a very high dimensional frequency and vibration, and therefore he could be very tricky, especially in the age that we're in now, because there is a movement called Luciferian race that is kind of moving its way through spirituality. So here are some modern influences that you can tell based off of what Lucifer energy or how his vibration actually shows up. He will show up in false light teachings, false light teachings. Okay, these are people who do not operate in a high vibrational light. They usually are not connected to God. They're not connected to like their ancestors or high vibrational beings or benevolent beings. Okay, so they operate in false light. Another one you can tell is spiritual narcissism. Yes, spiritual narcissism. These are going to be your people who will kind of like project their beliefs and spiritual beliefs onto you in a spiritual way. So they will come off like they know it all, or they have it all together, or they have this self-righteous type of energy. Okay, they are also highly advanced in occult knowledge, and they use it for their own personal power. The Luciferian race, or this Luciferian energy, they're very high in regards to occult knowledge, and they will use it for their own personal power. Okay. They also do subtle manipulation, and they cloak in beauty, light, and charisma. Okay, they manipulate and they cloak their energy in beauty, light, and charisma. Okay, so a person that's operating under this energy, they would come off as very charismatic. They would look very beautiful. Right now, Spirit is even showing me the color red, so the color red could be very significant. So just be mindful if you see that as well too. So yes, okay, so they come off as very, very charismatic, beautiful, like this bright light type of energy. Okay. They also have the temptation to become like gods without unity with source. So these could be your people who kind of, or energy that kind of move where it's like they're the God, they're a God, or they don't give knowledge to a higher source. All praise is due to the Most High God. They don't really generally do that. They usually just want to look at themselves as God themselves. Okay, so Lucifer operates on the 8th dimension, and he's a fallen angel. Okay, the next one is going to be Satan. Now, Satan operates on the 4th dimension, which is the lower astrals and the sub-dimensional networks. Satan, not one being, but a network archetype intelligence of inversion and rebellion against divine laws. So Satan works in intelligence in regards to network, archetypal network intelligence. So you could say, okay, Tiffany, what does that mean? That would be more of like social media, or that would be more like a collective, a large collective, a community, getting everybody to go this way or do this. They kind of sway them to go into the intelligence of where they want them to go. It's like kind of following the crowd, so to speak, right? They operate in the 4th dimensional astral plane, where the entities can manipulate, tempt, and contract with human souls. Okay, associated with ritual systems, manipulation of timelines, and binding contracts. So this is where you will see your energies of people who are sort of like in industries, government, those kind of things that are up there. They know how to use the system to manipulate it. They know how to manipulate timelines, and they know how to do binding contracts, spiritual binding contracts. So this is a very clever energy here, and you got to be very, 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 very careful with this energy. And how this energy manifests, and what you need to pay attention to, is elite control structures like politics, media, and money. Okay, this is how they will manifest in the energy. They also do blood rituals, astral abductions, MK Ultra type programming. This is where the Satan energy is, where you see everything kind of in the physical, like in the 3D world, but they know how to go right above that in the 4D world to kind of be like the puppet masters to what's going on a mass scale. Okay. They also are programming the masses through fear and distortion. So like I said, they work with the masses. They work with the collective. This energy does, right? And they also know how to create generational curses and soul pacts. So they know how to create generational curses, like putting drugs in the community, putting false hope in the community, putting rap in a sense where it's derogatory into the community. They know how to create a curse just off of simple things like that, like in our food, things of that sort. All of this is the satanic movement that helps support that archetypal network and intelligence. Okay, the next one is going to be the devil. Now, Satan works on a global scales. The devil works with just your, it's more like self-inflicted energy, right? So the devil is the ego. It's the 3D ego construct. And later I'm going to be doing a video on breaking the ego down into 3 parts and how the ego actually works, okay? So the devil operates in a 3D construct, which is the ego, parts of the ego, right? The devil is a lower dimensional mass. This is where we show up, or people show up as somebody else, or they show up in a mask and they're literally representing themselves as something else completely different. They're not really who they say they are, and they embody their shadow self in the 3D room. And usually 9 times out of 10, when you see people who have not done a shadow work, or you see somebody and you meet somebody, they're one way, but then they turn out to be a different way, that's usually you meeting them in their shadow self, okay? And sometimes if they're not careful, they know how to wear that mask and they come off as that devil energy, okay? They're not a distant or a distinct being, but a density-bound projection of lust, greed, pride, and fear. Okay, so this person is usually somebody who is kind of like your norm of everybody else. They operate in lust, greed, pride, and fear. And so they know how to create projections of this energy. They know how to manipulate you and say, well, you know, you should be giving me sex because you're my wife. Everybody else does it. You know, they kind of are somebody who projects the mass or the collective of everything else onto you. This is how the ego actually works, right? And how the devil operates, they operate through temptation and material obsession. So usually when you meet a person that is wearing a false mask, they would usually operate in the energy of where they're obsessing with material gain. They're obsessing with trying to achieve something or get something. They really don't know how to go with the flow. They are stuck in trauma loops and addictive patterns. Trauma loops and addictive pattern, meaning that this person can't get out of their trauma. They can't get out of certain addictive loops or patterns or contracts or cycles. They can't get out of them, okay? They are also have an obsession with dominance and survival. So usually this person will come with a strong either patriarchal or matriarchal energy, like they want to dominate the relationship or dominate the situation. These are usually going to be your people who really can't cohabitate or co-create with you because they're already got it programmed in their mind how they want you to run and how they want their life to actually run. They're super, super control freaks. Okay. There's also a disconnection from spirit through the ego. So usually this person is not connected to a higher spirit. They're like, I can't feel my intuition. I don't feel connected to my intuition. I don't feel connected to my spirit. This would be somebody who really don't get no chills. They don't get no thrills or nothing, honey. And it's because they're operating through their ego. So if they do say that they feel something, if they do feel like they're connected to something, 9 times out of 10, they're connected through this energy through their actual ego. Okay, so those are the difference of those 3. If you would like more information and more content on these type of topics, please comment below what you would love for me to share, talk about, or us to learn. Don't forget to share the video, hit the thumbs up button, and I hope that this video was able to help someone and have a beautiful and blessed day. Peace.